Hello, just as a quick follow-up to our Cinemachine, I'm going to go over a couple of things. It wasn't as simple as I thought to get the camera in scene 2. Okay, so when I added, so again, as I kind of mentioned at the end of the last video, if you take, so from scene 1, you take your camera, your virtual cam, move it down as a prefab in your prefabs folder, and then I open scene 2 and just drag my virtual camera, my prefab up into the hierarchy, and it creates it. However, it doesn't, right, because we didn't create it in here, it's not taking this camera and attaching it to it in any way. So if you try to play it, your regular camera, or I'm not sure really if this is playing which camera it's using, but it's not going to work, right? So the camera is not working right now, and that's because actually it might work because I took the script off because this will be on initially, so I had turned this off. So what you do need to do is to take this virtual camera, and with our main camera, we have to add a Cinemachine brain, right? So if you type in Cinemachine and then you go down, you want to add the brain to your main camera. And now it attaches it to, so it makes it as the brain. The other thing, and I think I've already done this as well, is your player is not in the follow right now, right? Because again, in scene 1, you added the player to follow the Cinemachine. However, when you move it over, your player is not part of the prefab, so it doesn't move over into scene 2. So same thing, you would have to take your player, drag it over into what you want your virtual camera to follow. Now if we push play, your camera should work, right? So there's those things that I wasn't really sure about. Oh, that's right. The other thing as well, it's not following the bounds. Why is it not following the bounds? Again, that's because in our grid, we don't have the boundary confiner, right? So the easy solution would be, again, if we just go back to, and these scenes are the same, so you don't have to worry about the sizing of these. So we can go back to scene 1. I'm going to save what I have here. So go to scene 1. I'm just going to go to my grid, go to my camera bounds. I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go back to scene 2, go into my grid, and I'm going to paste it. And then add it to that's fine, I'll just drag it up. And so now it's part of the grid itself. And the same as you did before, we are still going to have to drag that down because again, it doesn't follow in the bounding shape. So drag that down to there, and now everything should work fine. If you change so again, you're not going to want every level the exact same size. So let's just double check. So now the camera bounds works. Right, so that's a quick, easy solution. You could redraw it in if you want. You could have added the grid, but it is just as simple to go back to the scene, copy it, and then paste it into the new scene. So if you change your size, so let's say you want this level to be a little bit bigger, so you're going to add stuff up here, right? Because you want your camera bounds to change, all you would really need to do is change this, right? So you change your camera bounds in the scene itself to whichever way you want it as, right? So you'd want to edit the collider, and then we can change this to however big, or if your level is smaller, maybe you make it smaller, right? It just depends on what you did there. So anyways, that's a few changes that you will need to make to get the camera to work in scene 2. So if you didn't kind of figure that out, hopefully this helped out. And that's it for this video. It's just a quick follow-up in terms of adding that Cinemachine into the other scenes.